Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, December 10th, 2009. Well, the markets are slightly higher on the day, although they are coming towards the lows of the day, meaning that we are coming to a gap window area here that I want to discuss a little bit. Now, there's a few key technical things going on in this chart that I think we need to be very, very aware of going into the afternoon session. Number one, right off the bat, looking at this chart, you want to note that you have a little bit of a double bottom right here on an intraday basis. All right, so again, if you come down into this level, see how you also have the 200 mirroring the double bottom? If you take a line and just draw it right across, 200 moving average plus double bottom, that will be a significant amount of support, and you should look for a small bounce off of that on an intraday basis. In addition, what you can see today, folks, is we had a sizable gap up in this market. Now, right now, the Dow is up about 50 points or so, NASDAQ is up 9, and the S&P 500 up about 5.5, really about 0.5% across the board. By no means is it a big up day, but it's another solid up day, kind of like yesterday. Yesterday was not a big up day, but it was solid up day as well. And you've seen two back-to-back days after some sharp selling in the previous day or so before that. Now, again, what was occurring today? What are we seeing today in the markets? We're still seeing relative neutral status on gold today. Again, gold on the GLD is down slightly, down 41 cents. Gold is pretty much neutral on the day. The USO is down about 40 cents as well, coming into a key level that we discussed in the research center last night for a possible buying opportunity. Not quite there yet, but it is getting relatively close, and I'll keep those that are premium subscribers updated in the nightly videos, as I always do, in the premium service called the research center. All right, now again, a couple other things to note on the intraday chart here. The gap up today, what was significant about this gap up? The gap up took us above the 200 moving average. That was initially a bullish sign. However, what you were really watching was the gap fill going back to this day here on the 7th of December. This gap, see this where we gap down huge? All right, so you had the 7th, and then on the 8th, we gapped down, creating this big gap. Gap fill was this trend line, this thicker trend line that I want to just go over, and what I'm going to do is add an extra line in there so it makes it even more obvious as we scan back. So this was gap fill, and we gapped just underneath that level, pushed all the way through, and at this point, we went right up into the white trend line. Now, the white trend line is also a very significant resistance area, and that was at 111.10. So 111 spot 10, that was a key resistance level. And at that point, again, many of the individuals in the intraday stock chat decided to short some right there, and that was a beautiful shorting opportunity. Off of that move up, you can see the reversal to the downside as we came back in. Now, the reason why you knew this level would probably hold up is because, see this little red candle after the big green one? This candle did not confirm the move up above the gap fill. All right, so once you get lack of confirmation or no confirmation, one of the key signals you see is oftentimes a reversal coming into play. All right, so again, reversals, if there's no confirmation, oftentimes you get a reversal the opposite way. That's exactly what happened today as the selling came right in once the confirmation. See this candle right here? No confirmation, and look at the selling that ensued following that. Right down it goes, all the way to the 200 moving average. At that point, we suggested taking the profits on the shorting opportunity, which was right up here, off the table. And again, many of those in the chat room did that and took some nice profits at that. At that point, again, you look for a little bit of a bounce off the 200. That's exactly what we talked about in the chat room as well, to look for a bounce, to profit off of the bounce. And the bounce did occur all the way back up to this gap fill, excuse me. Now, again, note how you pierced the gap fill, but you never confirmed it. Therefore, this gap fill still remains as resistance, folks. And you can see it worked beautifully. You move right back up into it, hit it once, pull back, hit it twice, pull back, hit it 3 times, pull back, 4, 5, and the 6th time you close above it. Now, this is where you start looking for confirmation again. And the question is, did you get it? The answer would be no. What do we know about when you get lack of confirmation? Oftentimes you see a reversal, and to the downside, the market comes right back in, just like it would dictate based on the in-the-money stocks signal confirmation methodology. All right, so there you have it again. Comes right back in, comes all the way down to this little level, which is where we opened, as you can see, and then you bounce off of it back to that same level at 110.85 or so, which is again that gap fill. And right off of there, you can't get through it again, and there it falls back down. Now, right here, we actually had an auction going off, the 30-year auction. Bid to cover was slightly higher, and again, that's causing a little bit of weakness in the market as the bid to cover was just slightly stronger than what the market had expected. And with that, you're really seeing a little bit of a bounce on the dollar based off that bid to cover. So that's part of it as well, folks. As the dollar bounces just up slightly, you're seeing the market come in here. So there you have it, folks. You're coming back in. Again, as I mentioned, double bottom right here, 200 moving average will be good support on this chart. If you get through that, you're going to look for a little bit of support here at the upper Great Wall. Then ultimately gap fill, 50 moving average right down in this area will be significant. And again, let's see if we come down and touch it right now. You're very, very close to a double bottom level. Again, that will be support right around that 110.50 110.50 or so, 110.45 level. All right, and again, as I said, if you get through that, you're going to look for this line, then the 50, then this gap fill, and then ultimately the lower Great Wall down here, and then back down to this double bottom purple trend line, which is a major trend line in this market. On the upside, if you go back up and confirm a breakout above 110.85, then you look to see if you can get back to this high of the day double top at 111.10. If you get through that level and confirm it, then you're heading back to 111.50 on the intraday SPY. Some really key things going on, folks. And again, this is all available in our nightly videos that we put out 40 minutes in length on technicals, where we discuss and give our opinions and give our analysis and guide and give education. Also, the daily market reports included Pro Trader watch list, hot charts and alerts, technical tactics, hidden gems, you name it. And by the way, the hidden gem from November continues to rock. Hit a high of $1.87 today after alerting it at $1.55 in November. And also the December hidden gem is doing very well as we continue to have major success on those hidden gem reports. And by the way, guys, that's all included in the Research Center. You buy the Research Center, it's included $49.99 a month. All of it's included. So be aware of that. In addition, we have the webinar this weekend. You want to be involved in that. That's where you're going to get some of the keys. How do you calculate certain things? How do you know when a market's going to fall or roll over, on which candle, on which chart, and so forth? Some of the major secrets that we have will be divulged in that webinar this coming week, plus an outlook, a bonus outlook for 2010 in that webinar. That'll be a bonus for this webinar as well, for the 2010 outlook. Where we're going to go in 2010 will be released in that webinar. All right, join us now. We'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.